Welcome to Cineminds. I'm Millie Nager. Today we are going to look at a movie called The Briefcase. It's a short film directed by Isaac White. Have a look. That was The Briefcase by Isaac White. Here today we have Isaac White to tell us about the movie a little bit and his experience filming it. So Isaac, being a student filmmaker, what kind of inspired this?
I've always loved films that can tell the story without any sort of dialogue whatsoever. Nice thing is that with the certain assignment this was for originally, there was no dialogue. The only implication was that they couldn't talk in any way, shape, or form. And so I always find it a nice challenge to try to tell that story without the characters exchanging anything other than like those little glances and such. And so having a chance to work under those confines really gave me a chance to sort of push myself in that sort of regard. And so the inspiration for that came a lot more from sort of like those more silent moments of like the Scorsese films, like Hugo. They have a lot of points in which there's no dialogue whatsoever, which is just their glances and exchanges that way.
And I think that also is great because any nationality can see that. They always say that cinema has no nationality.
Exactly.
So especially whenever you carry it through just the emotions and the body language, that's perfect. So how did your teacher handle that?
He loved it. He thought it was a good example of a a no dialogue narrative. He actually asked me right afterward where the location was because he wanted to use it for his own film.
It was a beautiful location.
Yeah, there's this little trail off Katy Trail, like 5-10 minutes away. It's near like a dog park. If you were to ride your bike from Lindenwood campus, you'd be maybe 15-20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's nice and close.
That's good for students then.
Very much so.
Have a look. What I was going to ask though is that the small boy that you have in it, he was good.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
How did you find him?
Actually, the film that I'm working on for my capstone, Sarah, which will have actually premiered already after this is aired, one of the actresses in there, my main actress, her name is her real name is Margaret, but she goes by Grace, so I hope she doesn't see that.
I can understand, yeah.
But she does a lot of theater and such, and one of the kids, his name is Connor Lanner, I believe was his name. Fantastic kid actor. He's actually in the recent Les Mis play at the Fox.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't realize that till like after we'd gotten there and we were starting to go over some of the script together. It's like, this kid's really good.
He started speaking French.
That would have been neat. No, but you have a sister too, and I'm trying to find an excuse to use a sister because she's like just about the same age, maybe a little bit older.
Oh man.
But they're really, really good.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's like he could take direction very quickly, and I didn't have to do a whole lot with him. He just knew how to. He knew how to interpret what I was saying into the acting that was there, and that's rare to find in someone that age.
Yes, no, it definitely is. Now, you had said that the woman that you used for your next film, she's in theater. Had the boy mainly been doing theater? Yes,
it was actually his first short film, and that's why. And that's sort of the thing that surprised me even more so because most people are aware of this, but be it subconsciously or consciously, the difference between film and theater acting, and that theater acting has to be much larger and much more present because you're on a stage far away from everyone else. Whereas the film acting, it's much more subtle. It's all in the face. And this being his first short film, like maybe after the first take or two, he got it right away. He knew that, okay, this is a lot more in the face. It's a lot more in how I look at something rather than how I act towards it.
Okay.
And so that was really cool seeing that sort of, because as soon as he learned that, like he lit up even more. It also helped having Chris Layer on set because he's able to keep things.
Oh, he's joyous.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he is. The other thing is that, I've noticed with a lot of your work, it's mainly an image that's been extended into a full thought. Now, what was the original image for this?
The original image was the man lying on the ground with a briefcase and a boy walking up, essentially. I come from a very photographic background. I started taking photos when I was like 15. My brother was doing the Project 365, where you take a photo a day for a year.
Oh, okay.
And I was bored one summer when I was 15 years old, and I picked up my brother's little Kodak Easy Share point and shoot. Got that, started shooting with that, and within about a month and a half, or I guess it was 2 months, I actually spent all the money that I'd been saving for my first car, my first camera, and so all that want to like be a rally car racer growing up sort of put on like hold. Like I still think later on in life I'd like to try to get into racing or something. I don't tell many people that, but that would be a fun
What kind
change.
of car do you have right now?
A 1999 Mazda Protege. It's about to hit 150,000 miles. It's a workhorse.
Oh, beautiful. Of course it would. Okay, so the final thought here is that what has the experience been at Lindenwood with going into cinematography past your photography background?
It's definitely very different for sure. The cinema program at Lindenwood is still pretty young. I mean, myself and my roommates, we're all in cinema together, but we're not even amongst, I think, like the second or third generation, like the full second or third generation to get through the program. And so, as such, we find that it's a lot more of what you put in is what you're going to get out. And so, like, if they give you an assignment for doing a non-dialogue narrative, you've got to put in the work to try to do something much further beyond than just saying, okay, just can't have any talking. It's like, how can we tell a story in 3 minutes with no dialogue?
That's a wonderful suggestion.
And so,
yeah, that definitely will spark even more creativity.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Well, I'm Millie Nager, and this has been Isaac White. Thank you for joining us in Cineminds. Hi, I'm Millie Nager, and this is Cineminds. Today we're going to be looking at the film The Hostage by Luiz Costa Cruz. Have a look.
So, you've finally woken up.
Who are you? Where am I? What are you gonna do to me?
Calm down, darling. Now. You're weak. You need to eat.
No, you must have confused me for somebody else. I don't know you.
What are you talking about, honey? You're Lisa Kensington. Have you forgotten?
I'm sorry, I'm Lisa Morrison. I don't know you.
I've already forgiven you for trying to run away from me. Don't make me mad. You're never going to run away from me again. Come on now. Eat your food. Eat your food. Eat your food. Eat your food.
I don't wanna eat. I just wanna go home. Please let me go. Please.
Now look what you made me do. I told you not to make me mad. Look at this mess. You've been a bad girl. And I have to punish you. Like a good husband.
Sorry.
Oh, honey. That's all you had to say.
I'll be a good girl. Just please don't hurt me.
I could never hurt you, my love.
Then please, honey, please untie me. These ropes are starting to hurt me.
Now. I can't do that. Because you'll try to run away again. And I'm never letting you run away from me again.
Please let me go. Please.
That was The Hostage by Luiz Costa Cruz. So, Luiz, how was making this film? What inspired you to do it?
So a couple of days before I shot the movie, I watched, for some reason, that movie with Jodie Foster. Is it
Taken?
No, the one that she's with Kristen.
This is terrible.
In the safe room or something. I don't know how it's in English.
Hold on. The safe room. Hold on.
You know
We're
what I'm
going to
talking
get
about.
this. I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about. For
I-
the audience, Panic Room.
Panic Room.
Panic
Yes,
Room.
exactly.
Yes, with Kristen Stewart. Yes.
Yeah, so I found that it was very interesting how they made the whole feature film, and most of the story was in the panic room, in that small space. So I went to my friend's house and I saw that basement, and it was like a very low ceiling basement, very dim lighting, and so I was like, I need to make a story using this setting, and so that's how I got inspired. It was like basically an idea that I got from the panic room, and then I wanted to do something tense in that setting too.
So being creeped out has.
Basically, and I've never done anything like that before because I usually do dramas.
Okay.
I don't like to do comedies because I'm not very funny.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
But yeah, so I needed to do something like of a genre that I've never done before, and so I got inspired basically mostly about from the setting rather than the story itself.
I see. I really enjoy doing that. Have you? Do you think because of this experience you're going to start looking more at locations and seeing if a story builds off of that?
Possibly, yes. There are many stories that sometimes I think people get inspired by the location, and then they build a story based on how the location will look on frame, or maybe about the story of the location itself. I think that's a possible idea, yeah.
So what were any tribulations, any issues with the film? What was your...
Well, first, it took us 4.5 hours to shoot everything. And the problem was that the basement was very small, and it hasn't been used for years. So it had a lot of dust and spider webs. And the ceiling was low, and so it was very uncomfortable.
Okay.
Very uncomfortable. So the crew got a little stressed out, so that was kind of hard to deal with. But
In the cramped space, were they claustrophobic?
no, it's because the ceiling was really low.
Oh.
It wasn't just low, it was really low. Everybody had to stay like this, you know.
Gosh.
So my cinematographer was Julius, and he is, I don't know, 5'11" or 6, I don't know.
Okay.
And he couldn't stand, and he would hit his head all the time on the ceiling, all the time.
I think he was doing it on purpose.
I don't know.
He wanted attention.
He wanted to break the ceiling or something.
That's what it was.
So that was something, and the other thing was I wanted very intense characters, and I had never worked with Josh, and he was the villain in the story. So it was like a surprise. I didn't know what was going to be, and I was pleased. I was pleased with the results, but it was pretty challenging.
So how has the casting been throughout this semester with the actors? Because I know we have actors at Lindenwood. What is their schedules like? Is there any?
So the casting this semester, it was pretty difficult because most actors, they have a pretty busy schedule. They have to rehearse for their shows. They have to perform in their shows. And so it's really hard to find that time that they're available. And also, when you're casting for a short film, you're always looking for that specific look for your character. So that's hard too, to find that person that looks like the character that you want the person to look, and find someone that has the skills to show the emotions that you want the character to show. So.
It's often that a director gets so wrapped up in the whole look of a person that they're like, oh, my friend Emily is going to be great for this part. Emily's terrible. She's not an actor.
Exactly.
It's like, why did you cast her?
Exactly.
Gosh, speaking of wrapped up, we're going to wrap up right now. I'm Millie Nager. Thank you for joining us for Cineminds.